thing is, I thought it had stopped hurting. Like, honestly, even by the time... even by yesterday evening, when everyone had gotten together, I barely noticed it at all, and it could hold my weight again. But suddenly today, as I was climbing up and down ladders and standing up and sitting down over and over again, it started to ache just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't say that that's been my day today, because it honestly just wasn't. But I've been experiencing a different kind of pain, which is gastrointestinal pain, because Dom made a food recommendation to me, and I did the incredibly stupid thing of taking it.
I have my resonant bell right outside the lantern room, by the way.
Alright. I don't know if you paid attention. You know Wendy's, right?
Yep.
I don't know the last time you've been there. Have you seen that they have like a,
it's like a bacon quite often, pub? Actually.
It's like a bacon pub pretzel burger thing sandwich.
Yeah, I've thought about trying it.
The chicken one's really good. I've had the chicken one twice, and it's really solid. I'd eat that one if you ever have the chance. Get it spicy, or I guess not, because you might not like spicy. But I like the spicy one.
Here's the thing: like, I go there a lot. It's usually for breakfast. Hence
fair.
my not having gotten around to trying that, despite thinking every time that I see it that I ought to.
So they have a burger version, right? Which I know they've talked about on. It's been talked about both on Face Jam, and Dom has talked about it several times too. The only thing that I didn't know is that you can get the burger version as a triple. So I did that today for lunch.
Nice.
Because I thought, well, it can't be that bad, right? It was so bad.
Nice one.
I got freaking. It's like the best way I could explain it is that it's like if somebody like forced your throat open, right, and then just poured in. Well, first they shoved a brick down your throat, right, and then they immediately followed that up with 2 whole cups of just grease.
Nice.
It was so bloody awful. Like I ate that at like 12:30. I'm still full. It feels like I just ate it like 15 minutes ago. Oh.
Yeah, well, while you were having that, all of my meals today have been roller food.
QT?
Yep.
Hot dogs? Where'd you go for taquitos?
Taquitos the first time, hot dogs the second.
For roller food, QT doesn't have bad like roller food. It's pretty okay.
Yeah, I agree.
For like it being as cheap as it is.
For
I imagine
it
it's
being
made
the
from
cheapest
like rat
possible
meat
food.
or something, but maybe like a few fingers in there somewhere or something. It did ring the beckoning bell, right?
But yeah, the first
do we
time
want to
it
switch
was
back to local since we're done with the trying to summon other people in? Because I don't know if that actually did have any effect on our attempts last time, but I mean, just to narrow the search down. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, like the first time I was on my way to the job, so taquitos are easier to eat while driving. The second time was in the midst of the second replacement that gave us so much issues. I just was hungry, so I went and got both the hot dogs for the guy I was working with and I. Because I actually prefer their hot dogs over their taquitos. I just always eat the taquitos because they're more convenient.
They do have good taquitos, though. I mean, not taquitos, hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I really love that jalapeno cheddar hot dog.
Yep. I do as well.
Especially since you've introduced me to the little onion bits that you can put on
Yep.
top of it. With some Some mustard, some ketchup, and those onion bits, and I'll be freaking happy.
You know, considering how much we always have to wait for this thing to work, and I guess invaders are kind of similar in a way, but I'm just so glad that Bloodborne and the Dark Souls games don't have anything similar, especially Bloodborne, I guess, since the dungeons are more similar to stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
anything similar to Persona's Reaper, where it just comes after you if you stay in one place for too long. Or if
I
it's
mean, you
Persona
know,
3, it just comes after you if you stay in one place for half a minute.
but you know that if it were to happen anywhere, it'd be in this freaking the Chalice dungeons.
Absolutely.
Just be
That's
like
exactly
some,
why that even came to mind, is because of the Chalice dungeons.
just some beast would come out of nowhere and take your head.
A beast that's permanently at the max level, no matter what.
So, have you killed the boss here? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so, unless the boss is at the first layer.
Yeah. Do you wanna silence and I'll try summoning into yours then?
We could try that.
Alright, I'm a silence then. What's up, Kronos? Fair warning, this will probably be a shorter one.
Yes, because not only did we start late, but also exhaustion.
There's a glitch in some dungeons and levels. Oh, really? What is it like related to summoning? Because that's the issue we're having right now.
Oh yeah, speaking of glitched dungeons, apparently there are certain glyphs you can use to get access to dungeons that have like in work in progress content that was never implemented, including a boss that wasn't implemented in the final game, but functions in every way a boss should.
Huh.
Like the only thing that's missing is you don't have like a boss health bar that appears on your UI. But it
So,
has like
you
attacks
said
and
it's
such
glyphs, right?
apparently.
Like
Me or him?
you.
Yeah, there are certain glyphs that you can use to get access to dungeons with unimplemented content.
Yeah, that's what he's saying right now. He has some glyphs for that.
I,
Huh.
s- I saw a YouTube video talking about it a while back, and I have been meaning to mention it for a while now.
You still have the password on, right?
Yep.
Well, I have my small bell. Yeah, it'd be interesting to look into.
I figured maybe we'd do that after we had completed all the other Chalice dungeons.
Man, if only we could get freaking Kronos to summon in.
If only we could get anyone to summon in.
Yeah. Man, isn't summoning in just great? Like, holy cow.
Yeah, totally. I think I've mentioned this before, but at least in Dark Souls, you knew right off the bat if things were not working because you'd not see the summon sign.
Yeah,
Whereas in
yeah.
this, you just have to assume they're not working or assume that it's just taking a long time to work.
We just switched from worldwide. It didn't look like we were getting any summons from. I mean, we might switch back here in a minute, but we switched from worldwide to local and we're trying that. Oh, you're not near your PS4? Aw, fat rip. That's a good point. I didn't even think about checking the servers. Let's see,
Doesn't it usually
Bloodborne
kick you out of online mode if
server.
their servers are down?
Yeah, they might not be down, but they might just be
Might
like
just
messing
be
up or lagging
bad.
behind or something.
They're taking a page out of the PlayStation Network's playbook.
What?
Not working.
Ah.
Which I say that, but I think we've only ever had one time when PlayStation Network itself wasn't working for us, haven't we? Of
Yeah.
course, we always have some issues with it, though. Like last week when we had to make like 7 attempts before we could all get in the same party.
It says US East servers are online with a ping of 76.
Little do you know that ping is actually 76 hours, and news just hasn't reached that the servers are down yet.
Yeah, this ping was as of like 6:30. Dude, if it's...
Guess I'll try going back to the dream and coming back out here.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll switch it back to worldwide and see if that changes. Maybe it is just a local thing. We probably should have given worldwide a little longer of a wait anyway, so... How you frickin' been, Kronos, while we sit here and wait for everything to load back in again? Because this game is trash. Sometimes. Did you enjoy the like 2.5 hours of loading screen from the Destiny stream on Tuesday? I know I did. I loved it so much. All the error codes that accumulated. Yeah, it's called I streamed for 3 hours and I think only like 30 minutes of it was actually like doing anything.
Sounds like Destiny, alright.
Yep. That was it. Alright, Beckoning Bell is up. I did your low-level co-op account? Nice. I feel like low-level for you is different than low-level for me, though. Low-level for me, I feel like, is like maybe 15, 20. I feel like low-level for you is like my level, considering that your other guy is like level 500 and something. Up, 50? Okay. That's a little lower than what I was thinking. Look at all these tree roots. Just like, where are these dungeons? Are we under Yharnam?
That'd be my guess.
Because, like, some of the architecture, I guess, is kind of like Yharnam. But then some of it reminds me more of, like, Yargul. Oh, there's a door back here. What the heck?
A door where?
Back towards, like, between, the first lantern and then, like, the spawn lantern. And there's a ladder that goes up. Level 150 is mid-level, and level 300 is high-level. These dungeons were created by the Thumerian people. Okay. I guess it's called the Thumerian Chalice. That actually doesn't make some sense.
Okay, so actually, were you... Like, I was in the room between the two lanterns. Was that where you were?
Between the two lanterns? No, I was at the second lantern.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that should have been close enough to...
I mean, I agree, but also there was the time we waited for like 20 minutes, and then I stepped through a gate, like a single inch, and suddenly it summoned me immediately.
Ah, loading gates, yes. Pinnacle game design.
Mm-hmm. In case you can't tell, Ramp is pretty much done with it. Not that I can blame him. You know, like, that second replacement should have been so easy too. Like, we finished the first one. The first one we looked at, and the entire time we were replacing it, we were talking about how stupid the way it was installed was. How it made no sense at all. How it was just such garbage. We finished it, and honestly, we were a little worried that it might not be okay in the long run, just because because it was installed so poorly to begin with that we couldn't install it better. Then we get over to the second one, and it actually looks fine. Right next to a water meter, level with, like, in line with the meter, the device is level, not too deep in the ground. Then we start digging behind the device. Like, coming out, okay, the one weird thing about this is, like, coming out of the back of the device, like, the devices are made of copper or brass, I can't remember. And then usually we pipe with PVC, so the only way to go from metal to PVC is with threads.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, devices always have female threads on both ends. So if you want to go to PVC, you just thread in a male adapter.
It's like connectors. Yes.
Obviously, coming off the back of the device is a male adapter. Immediately off of the device's, the pipe diameter it's designed for is 1.5 inches. Immediately off the male adapter is an 1.5 to 2 inch reducer. Immediately, and we can see immediately off of the reducer is a coupling. So we think, okay, well, we'll just dig past the coupling and find some good pipe, cut off at the coupling, and put our own fittings on there. So we dig past the coupling, and immediately past the coupling, with no free pipe to use, is an elbow going straight down into the ground. Is that normal? No. It's almost never normal for things to be going straight down into the ground. So we think, okay, this is kind of weird, but well, I guess we'll just dig down and get pipe below this elbow. Immediately off of the elbow is another elbow. Okay, that's weird. We'll just dig past this elbow. Immediately off of that is a T.
Wow.
So at this point, we're panicking because we're going to have to find good pipe in 2 different directions because it's a T fitting and it goes, like, in addition to where it comes from, it goes in 2 different places. And we were literally talking this entire time until we found it about how terrible it would be if we found a T-fitting that we'd have to deal with. Also, at this point, it's worth noting, we're like twice as deep in the ground as the device was to begin with. While I'm talking about this... How deep would you say?
Just like a...
I mean, honestly, in the end, it was probably nowhere near that bad. In the end, it was probably only about, like, 1.5 feet total.
Okay.
But it's about to get worse.
Ooh,
I'm
boy.
Texting you a picture right now.
Really, really quick, Kronos was saying we should go back to the menu and just reset.
Like the entire game?
In a few minutes. Yeah. Right. So,
go back to the
go to the title menu.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that while we wait here. Just continue with your story.
So we dig past, like, here's even worse than the fact that there's a T fitting there is the fact that one of its branches is again going straight down. Like, you know how T fittings for PVC look. You have the 3 different directions they come in. One goes across like a coupling, and then one goes perpendicular to those. Like, the pipe from the device was coming into one of the sides going across. And then the perpendicular end was going straight down. So we decide to go ahead and dig to the opposite end from where the pipe is coming from, because that's the easier one to get to. And thank heavens, instead of actual pipe going there, it's just capped.
Oh,
So
good.
this T-fitting is functionally just an elbow. So we start digging down, and by some miracle, there's good pipe below the T-fitting. 2 inches down that pipe, there's a new fitting. So we realize, oh no, if we mess up this cut, we're going to have to keep digging until we find we have just enough pipe to use. If we mess up this cut, we're going to have to keep digging until we find new pipe to work with. So we start digging around, all around this fitting to make room for the saw. And we find that growing next to and up against and around the pipe we're trying to work with are the most enormous tree roots. And I'm sending you a picture right now of a piece of tree root we cut out with my foot next to it for a reference to how freaking enormous it is. And for anyone watching the live stream, since I can't put this picture up anywhere, the chunk of tree root is as big as my foot.
Oh my god, that is so big. That's like big and wide and thick and healthy. So
It's
that would have
that
been a
big
What size shoe
all
are you?
the way around. I think my boots are a 10.5.
10.5 US. Yeah, so Quinn
Yeah.
was thinking like 10.5 US. I'm not sure what size that is in like South America, but I think it's like a 41 if it's the same as it is in Honduras. But holy cow, that's just a chunk too.
Yeah.
That's
That
massive.
fortunately was all we had to take out to get at it. But here's the thing. The one saw we have, we didn't want to use to cut the tree root because the battery and blade were already both in poor condition, and we needed those to get our good cut on the PVC. So we're trying to think about how to deal with this. Eventually we do cut part of the root because it gets really thin. And by really thin, I mean about as big around as a quarter. But compared to the
yes,
rest
so
of it,
thin.
that's pretty thin. It gets really thin in one spot, so we do cut through it there with the saw. But we don't want to cut like this enormous thing with the saw, because that's going to ruin our blade and our battery. So at first, my workmate has the idea to just hit it with a hammer and see what happens. But then he realizes that not only is that solving nothing, it's also shaking the entire pipe, and we don't want to damage the pipe. So his next thought is to... by the way, like, he's hitting it with a miniature sledgehammer, by the way. Like, not just with, like, a normal driving nails into a wall kind of hammer. So his next thought is to pull out a chisel that goes with his miniature sledgehammer and see if he can split the tree root with that.
You
And
have
it
your belt,
does-
by the way.
Oh, right. And it does absolutely nothing to it. So I say, okay, this isn't working. How about we try using the saw just to score the root a little? Like, make a little groove in it. And we'll put the chisel in that groove and see if we can split it now that it already has a bit of space. So he takes the saw and puts a score in it, and then looks at it, and instead of trying with the chisel, he just takes our shovel and starts hitting the tree root with it on the top, with the sharp part of the shovel. And just
Do you
chipping...
have flat shovels or like bladed shovels?
This one was bladed. We have some of both.
Okay.
And like starts chipping away with it like that. And it's he and I take it in turns to do this because this is the most productive we've been at breaking this tree root the entire time. And it's during the course of doing this that I go to get us the hot dogs. And when I get back, he's managed to get the chunk of tree root out.
Do you have small bell or big bell?
I used small.
Okay.
Although I did realize we are actually in the same place, I had just gone ahead and activated the lantern and you hadn't. Or at least that's my guess, because I didn't have the door open here. I don't know, though. But yeah, it was an experience for sure.
So it took 13 hours.
Well, like I said, there
today?
were the full day did. It was two separate replacements. But
Freaking yikes.
this second one that should have taken maybe 2 hours at most took more than half the day.
Vanguard demos Demon Souls Remastered. I'm assuming that's a video of like somebody playing through the Demon Souls Remaster, which
That's my guess.
I'm pretty excited for, to be
Yeah.
honest. Not that I'm going to be getting a PS5 anytime soon.
In 2 years, when PS5s aren't $500, we should each get one, and play through Demon Souls, because that does have the same kind of multiplayer as Dark Souls, right?
I would imagine same or similar.
I hope so. I mean, I'll 100% play it, even if it's only single player, but it'll be a lot more fun with two people.
Vanguard Demos, Demon Souls, Demos, 7084. My title is a typo? I bet it does. Honestly, would not be at all surprised. What's the typo? See, now I gotta bring it up. You gotta be paranoid. Oh yeah, Dunfin. Okay, that's not a word. Hey.
What?
It didn't
Nice
write dungeon, it wrote Dunfin.
Well
Heck
done,
yeah.
sir.
I really like the fact that one of the tags it has for the stream is Metroidvania, because it's very much not. I don't know why that's a tag for Bloodborne that it just automatically tosses on there, but okay then. Does this look like a side scroller to you? I didn't freaking think so.
I mean, if you take out the side-scrolling aspect, then you could argue that the Soulsborne games do qualify as Metroidvanias.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure Iron Pineapple actually makes the argument that they absolutely are Metroidvanias in one of his videos.
That actually does sound rather familiar, so I guess I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, it sounds familiar because you and I have talked about how he made that argument. Like he generally dislikes the idea of calling a genre a Souls-like, because Souls games are themselves just Metroidvania games in 3D with stamina management, or something along those lines.
Right. No. Okay. Now I remember that video. Yeah, it's been a long time.
I think it's only been a couple of months.
Yeah, it's since the pandemic.
And
that's felt like years.
I think it was him that said it. But I can't
I don't
remember.
really know anyone else that we both watch that analyzes Souls-like games to that extent.
That's
so I'm
a fair point.
Iron Pineapple.
That is a very fair point. Honestly, I can't think of any other YouTube channel I watch that actually analyzes Souls games at all. Most of them just do memes.
Okay, I'm gonna do my small bell, and you should do your big bell.
Alrighty.
If this doesn't work, then yeah, we'll do ghosts, I guess. Just so we can do something.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe we can try for survival or something, because I still need to get to 80.
Maybe we can try to get you a legendary, finally.
Maybe. Boy, wouldn't that be great. Sorry to disappoint Kronos, but the servers are really giving me a hard no today.
Oh yeah, so I found out apparently the reason Quick Play always pulls me into Caravan of Thieves is because repeatedly running that mission is the most efficient way to get a legendary.
Is it just because it's the shortest?
I guess so. Like it's the shortest, and the Oni treasure is almost always in that second part, and it's a really small area, so it's easy to find. That's another thing. If you're specifically farming items, the only secondary objective you need to bother with is Oni treasure, because it's the only one that gives you an item.
We'll see you, Kronos. Thanks for stopping by. For them thick memes. Yeah, I don't know if you're looking at the chat. We were totally making thick jokes while you were talking about that tree trunk.
No. Honestly, I'm so exhausted. I didn't like normally I'd turn on my computer and have both our streams running on my monitors. I'm so exhausted. I didn't even bother with that. I just have my stream up on my phone, and the only reason I bothered with that is so that if I have anyone in my chat, I'll see it.
You activated your big bell, right?
Yep, I did.
Neat. This is super neat. Holy cow.
My PlayStation claims that someone said something in my chat, but I see nothing said in my chat. So I'm gonna guess that that Twitch broke, and that someone said something, and that the app has decided not to inform me. Or not the app, the website.
The website was like, no. Denied.
You don't need to know what people have said to you.
I mean, if anybody said anything, it might have been Kat.
Probably. It does look like... Oh. She's spamming text into the chat. I don't know if that's what
nice.
It was before.
Huh.
I'll bet you any
Nice.
minute now she's gonna start texting me to see if my phone is on, and she'll be disappointed because it's on silent.
Yes, the classic disruption of the streams.
Yeah, she was invited to the thing yesterday, but she was too afraid of coronavirus to go.
And you ditched us all!
So, in reality, she was the only sensible person in the group that was invited.
I mean... Yeah, okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I am pretty confident that no one there had it, but also I have nothing to really base that confidence on. Other than knowing that Matthew is unemployed, and therefore probably doesn't have it. What?
She asked why you were tired.
Oh, were you not
you just
here?
missed the whole thing.
You missed the whole story.
Matthew's unemployed. I mean, Andrew works at, was it Cracker Barrel?
I think so.
What Chloe does. I mean, I work by myself in like a corner.
Chloe goes to nursing school.
Glare at everybody. They get near me.
If anyone in that group had it, it would be Nathan, because he had his driver's exam that day.
Right. Which, you know, fair. What is that? Is that a mushroom smoking weed?
I think it's a muffin. Well, how could you do this to me? You're just gonna make me tell my entire story from the beginning again, aren't you?
That really looks like a mushroom smoking weed. Oh no, it's a muffin. This is GG. Wow, that's okay. Completely off base.
I told you that.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
what?
She has a bunch of muffin emoticons for her channel.
So many muffins. I had no idea.
Short version is I worked 13 hours. You can just rewatch to get the long version, because it is long.
It is like a 20-minute story. It's a hot minute. Just know this: thick trees, and that's with 2 C's. Now go into it with that knowledge.
Dude, do we just want to say we're going with ghosts?
Me in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
guess
say. I
let's
mean,
go with
Cronin was saying before
ghosts.
you left that it's possible the servers for the dungeon specifically are just kind of done. I'm like, okay.
Alright, well, I'm gonna
We,
shut my stream down for a second while we switch games.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you could tune into mine. I'm just saying. Hashtag please support the stream. Hashtag ad. But here's the thing. We could go do old hunters, but our next thing to do is a boss.
Yeah.
A pretty
A
hard
boss
boss.
that, like, insta-killed me within seconds of entering the room the last time we played. And I was in top form that day, too. Like, I had made my way through old hunters with no deaths while you were dying left and right.
Oh yeah,
day.
I was the summonee.
I mean, yeah, you had, like, half health thanks to summoning. But my point is...
and that's my job.
My point is, I was in so much better of a condition to be playing that day than I am today. But yeah, give me a couple of minutes to switch games.